Hey, good to see you again, coach. It is impossible to completely prevent abuse in sport, but coaches and clubs have a duty to put in place systems and mechanisms to minimize the risk. In this video, we're going to explore some of the most common approaches to safeguarding children in sport. Now, at this point, it is important that we explain the difference between safeguarding and protecting children. Let's go back to the UNICEF International Safeguards for Children in Sport to check the definitions. Safeguarding refers to the actions we take to ensure all children are safe from harm when involved in our clubs and activities. Child protection is a set of activities that are required for specific children who are at risk of or are already suffering harm. In simple terms, safeguarding is about prevention, but protection is about detection and correction. This video will deal with safeguarding. Protecting children in sport will be covered in the next section. With regard to safeguarding, that is, putting in place all the necessary measures to minimize the risk of harm to children, there are four main things we can do. First, education. Investing time and resources to make sure that the children themselves and their parents, coaches and officials are aware of the risk and what to do about them is central to success. For example, the Child Protection in Sport unit in the UK has put together some great videos. Check out this example aimed at parents and coaches.
My sports kit is magical.
And mine is too. In fact, we all have magic sports kits.
You might think they're ordinary,
but when we wear them to compete, the magic takes over.
But you can't tell why they're special.
They don't make us run faster,
swim better,
or score more runs.
In fact, these kits don't help us at all.
So why are they magical?
Well, when we're not wearing our magic kits, the adults that we meet are kind to us.
They treat us with respect.
Or before the competition starts.
They don't expect too much.
And if we make a mistake, they're okay about it.
But when we're wearing these magic sports kits and start to compete, something very different happens.
We seem to become older.
The grown-ups watching shout at us.
They swear at us.
They call us names.
They treat us like we've been playing for years and get really mad when we make a mistake.
Often, they get so angry that they shout at the referee and each other.
And sometimes things get so bad they end up fighting.
Fights between parents, coaches, referees, and even young players like us.
At some matches, things get so bad that the police get involved.
It's embarrassing.
It puts me off my game.
It sets a bad example.
And worst of all, most of these grown-ups are parents of the kids playing.
Some young people have given up their sport because of the power of the magic sports kit.
Sometimes the magic kit makes parents push us too hard. They expect us to play like sports stars.
All they're bothered about is us winning.
Help us get rid of this bad magic.
Remember, it's our game, not yours.
Treat us all with respect.
Encourage everyone, not just your own kids.
Support the coaches and the referees.
Have fun when you're watching us, and help us to have fun too.
Let's bring out the real magic of sport.
The second vital strategy for sports clubs is to have a robust and stringent vetting process of recruitment and selection for all those that will work closely with the children. This includes coaches, team managers, doctors, drivers, etc. In some countries, this vetting process has become formalised and people that want to work with children have to undergo a police background check. For you, it may only mean gaining character references from multiple sources before you bring someone into your club, or asking questions related to this area during the selection interview. A third and very important way of making sport safe for children is by having clear safeguarding and protection policies, structure and protocols at your club. Most federations will now have a national or regional child protection manager in place who will be keen to talk to you about it. They will also have produced guidelines and templates you can use as a starting point. Even if that's not the case, organisations like UNICEF or the Child Protection in Sport unit in the UK will have them. Later in the chapter we will speak about reporting protocols. For now, please check the study guides for links to these resources and have a look at this short video to get a quick overview of your responsibilities as a coach or a sports club.
All organisations, from local authorities through to smaller sports clubs, have a duty to keep children safe in all of their activities.
Okay, the next item is summer schemes. Everybody got that in front of them? Yeah. Okay, Tony, I see you're suggesting that we undertake a complete overhaul of the safeguarding planning for this year's summer activity programme. Well, couldn't we simply go with last year's plan? I think that all went very well.
I agree. I think everyone was really pleased with how it went last year.
No, we need to make sure that we're fully complying with all the regulations this year.
Why?
We need to put in really robust child protection measures this year.
Oh, come on. It just sounds like a lot of extra work. It's just more of this health and safety nonsense.
Remember last year when we found out from one of the parents that one of our section volunteers had a record for sexual offences?
That was just a one-off.
That could have been a disaster for the kids and for us as an organisation, because we hadn't been checking everyone out effectively. It's really important. Everybody gets protected by these measures, not just the children, but the parents, the staff, the management and us as a local authority.
Well, I'm just not buying that. I think you're just trying to turn us all into social workers.
Look, we had a presentation last week at the Sports Safeguarding Group for the county. Management is now accountable, which means that we are now accountable. It's our responsibility to get everything in place.
Like I say, just a lot of extra work.
Look, we don't have to start from scratch. The County Sports Partnership has provided lots of information, templates and guidance that we can use.
Actually, I agree with Tony. Got to get it right this year. OK, Tony, can you bring something along to the next meeting? We can consider it then? Yeah, good.
All sports organisations and clubs have a duty of care to children and young people, and could be legally responsible for children who attend activities or sports events which they organise. You must ensure there are proper policies and procedures in place for recruiting and training staff and volunteers, and reporting any concerns which may arise.
The fourth and final major strategy involves conducting a thorough risk assessment of your sport activities or sessions. As a coach, you should be aware of all the inherent potential risk of your sport. For example, drowning in swimming or concussion in rugby. But you should also be able to identify and minimise other risks that may have more to do with the conditions surrounding your session or the participants themselves. For example, heat or cold exposure if you are coaching an outdoor sport, a slippery playing surface, or being aware that a child is deaf and requires safety instructions to be provided in a particular way. All of this should be part of your risk assessment protocol. During the risk assessment, you should identify all potential hazards and rate them based on their likelihood and severity. Then you must put plans in place to minimise the risk and to deal with it if it does happen. You may think this is all too much, but keeping children safe is priceless. We would strongly advise you to go on a safeguarding and protection, risk assessment and first aid courses before you start coaching, particularly if you're going to lead sessions on your own. These courses are normally provided by your federation or local authority, and you will learn a lot of useful stuff that you will be able to use outside coaching too. Many organisations now have even made attendance to these courses compulsory before a coach can work with children, and rightly so. Okay, So now we have a better idea of some of the things we can do to keep children safe in sport. In the next video, we're going to explore what we can do if, unfortunately, we suspect or we know about a case of child abuse in our context. Thanks for watching and see you soon.